Do you ever catch yourself thinking, collecting Pokemon cards just isn't what it used to be anymore? Hey guys, this is Julius, and I have been collecting Pokemon cards since 1999. And in those 25 years plus of collecting Pokemon cards, I've had a few periods of time where I was thinking the exact same thing. So let's find a few ways together on how to make collecting Pokemon cards a lot more fun again. I like to begin by remembering why I started in the first place. And this doesn't just go for Pokemon card collecting or any TCG or even hobby, but for anything and everything in life. It's super normal to lose focus sometimes or question things. Trust me, in those over 25 years of collecting, I've asked myself more than a few times, why am I doing this? Why are there thousands and thousands of dollars worth of cardboard in my basement, in my office, stacked in boxes, and what am I doing here with all of those cards? So I suggest you take a step back, relax, and ask yourself, why am I collecting? Think back to the first time you saw those cards in a store, on a display, on a shelf, and said, ah, I want that. That makes me happy. Or remember the first time you ripped open a pack, smelled the fresh smell of new cards, or that time when you finished that set and felt like the best Pokemon trainer on Earth. So we all have different reasons to collect. Some like to complete sets, and others like to chase rare cards, and even others like to just enjoy the moment of ripping packs with their kids or their friends or family. Whatever it is, just be you and have fun doing so. Share your passion. Going into the same direction as before, every hobby is more fun if you have others to share it with. This could be your friends, your kids, your partner, the local community at the card store, a Discord community, or any other online place you choose. I have actually met some of my best friends in the world over my passion for hobbies and Pokemon and other things. So yes, I can attest it actually works. And they like to comment on my videos too. However, please don't be disappointed if somebody just isn't interested in it. It's a hobby first and not an investment. Please guys, don't treat your cards like stocks, and don't keep on worrying only about the monetary value of the cardboard you own. Many fall for the trap of worrying only about the monetary value of every card they own, and when the market falls, quote unquote, they're super worried. Yes, cards can be an investment and even a business for some people. And yes, it's a totally valid way to fund your hobby by selling off those cards you don't want or don't need. But remember, it's a trading card game designed for people. I've learned myself that any investment or business you make out of a hobby will lead to losing a bit of that magic, that innocence you have in that hobby. So a really great way to get more fun and enjoyment out of the Pokemon trading card game is by not treating it as an investment. But what it is, it's cardboard, it's designed for people like you and me. Play with the cards, collect them, display them, share them with others. And the investment side should only ever be used to perhaps fund your hobby, but don't treat it like it's your pension fund. Level up your collection. This is really one of my favorite tips I'd like to share with you guys, and that's make more out of the collection you already have. This could be by sorting your cards and finding some hidden gems you didn't know you had, or customizing your binders, or making a cool display of your favorite cards, or customizing something. There's so much you can do, and I see cool ideas all the time. Just go completely wild with your creative side and do whatever you enjoy, and your collection will love it, and you will love it too. If you don't feel as creative, you can go on Pinterest or on Reddit or on forums or TikTok or whatever and see what others have done with their Pokemon card collection. Buy only things you truly enjoy. This is a tip I share with every new collector, and that's only buy things you truly enjoy and where you wouldn't mind even if it lost all the monetary value. I mean, whenever you spend your hard-earned money on something, it should make you happy. This could be a nostalgic card for you, or a set, or a sealed product, or even a plush toy. It doesn't matter. Just get what you love. I've mentioned this tip before in my How to Start Collecting video, which you should totally check out afterward. And it's still true. Oh, and before I forget, please stop going to stores, posting a picture of it online and saying something like, "Is there anything worth grabbing, guys?" in a subreddit or Discord server. Guys, it's your collection. Just get what you like. Cherish the artwork. I think one of the best ways to get more enjoyment out of the Pokemon card collecting hobby is by truly appreciating some of the art that's out there. And yes, that includes other cards besides the full arts and alternate arts. As a matter of fact, some of my favorite artworks of all time aren't even rare cards at all. For example, this Tangela card will always be one of my favorite artworks and probably the best Tangela design ever, and it's not even $1 on TCG Player. A nice little way of how I up my enjoyment of the Pokemon cards I collect is by looking for certain illustrators or designers, look for cards they have designed and see the progression, perhaps try to match patterns and see patterns in Pokemon cards that I haven't noticed before. That's also the reason why some of the openings on this channel take a bit longer than on others, because I take my time to look at all the cards, even the common and uncommon ones. Play the game. I know, guys, this is hard to believe, but Pokemon cards are meant to be played, and that's also a great advice for those who think, nah, I'm not getting as much fun out of the hobby anymore. Go to a tournament, go to your local card store or whatever, play with your friends. You'll see the TCG is actually a lot of fun. Understanding the cards and the rules and the mechanics of the game is a really great way to appreciate the cards and the collection you have even more. There are lots and lots of video tutorials and guides out there, and it's super easy to get started. If you want to get started without paying anything, hop on over to the online TCG and just start completely for free. If you prefer to play with the actual cards, which I totally understand, you can buy one of these pre-made decks. They're usually for 2 players and include everything you need to get started, and you can get started right away. This is a bit of an expensive one because it's older, but there are new sets coming out and they cost about $10 per person. I think that's a really good price to get started. And if you're a collector, you also know that some of those tournaments hand out promo cards that you cannot get anywhere else, so it's really worth it for that part too. Trade with others. You can put the trading back into the trading card game. I've actually mentioned this before in other videos, but Pokemon cards are actually meant to be traded with others. Similar to the video games where you can only complete the Pokédex by trading with others, or you can only evolve certain forms by trading it with others, why don't you go out to a show, a convention, a card trading show, whatever, and trade your cards with others? It's also a great way to get rid of your duplicates and get something you really like. Small tip before, trading is a lot of fun, but please do your research before you go off and trade off all your secret rares, whatever, and make sure you know prices before you go. Hey guys, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm super grateful to all of you who already do. Leave a comment and let me know what you think. I'm happy to answer all of them. I'm super excited and overwhelmed by all the support and the lovely comments I get from you, and stay tuned for more videos. Stop looking into online forums and groups. As much as I love Reddit and Discord and Twitter and whatnot, it can be super cumbersome to look into some of those poke investing groups on there. Yes, there are some great posts in there and some amazing collectors, and yes, we also have plenty of great investment-focused Pokemon and other TCG YouTubers. However, the more I read and watch about it, the more I don't want to do that. I'm not bashing anybody, and I have huge respect for many of the great content creators out there. But really, guys, I don't think that whole investment thing has truly helped the hobby in a way it should. The reason here is that I believe that the investment side has led a lot of people into spending ungodly amounts of money on Pokemon cards without ever seeing actual returns. That's number one. And it has also not led to more enjoyment in the hobby. You know, I'm a big advocate in loving the hobby and the collecting side and enjoying everything you see on the cards. But nowadays, it seems like even the youngest collectors, kids out there, they worry only about getting those mega expensive cards and the mega hits, and anything else that's not at least a secret illustrator rare is just garbage to them. And I think that kind of defeats the purpose of a hobby. This is by no means meant to be a rant. So all I'm suggesting is if you feel like losing a bit of fun in the collecting side of the hobby, get back to the roots. It's a hobby, it's not an investment. Yes, sell those cards you like. Yes, do your research. Yes, check out those groups online. And yes, of course, you can ask questions. But really, don't get obsessed with it. Don't obsess over those groups. Get back into the real life, into the real collecting part, and spend less time online on it. And then I think you'll have more fun with Pokemon collecting. Stop worrying so much about grading. Grading cards is important for many collectors, and I understand why that is. I mean, I buy and own graded cards myself, and especially for vintage and high-end cards, grading is really helpful. But in the end, grades are always subjective and don't necessarily make a card better or worse per se. I mean, look at these cards here, the PSA 10, 9, 8 and lower. Compare them and think about it yourself. Is the difference in price really something you would like to spend? Or can you live with a lower grade and spend all that other money you still have available on other products, other cards, or something else entirely? You know I like to recommend to buy the card and not the grade, so make your own choice. Another example is, let's say you pull your dream card from a pack and you send it into PSA or CGC or Beckett to get it graded. And instead of getting that pristine 10, the black label, it comes back as an 8, or a 7, or a 9, or a 6. So how does that feel? Is the card worth less now to you? In my case, for example, I have certain cards I enjoy. The Mewtwo in the tube, for example, or the Zekrom. And if I send them in and they get a 9, instead of the 10, doesn't matter to me really. I guess it wouldn't. Take a break. Sometimes the best way to enjoy something even more later on is to take a break. You don't have to collect every single set. You also don't need to buy Pokemon cards every month. You don't need to look into an online community every day. You don't need to follow every hype out there. I take breaks from collecting when I just don't feel like it. For example, in 2006 and 2007, I just didn't really feel like it, and I also didn't have the money, to be fair. Or again in 2021 and 2022. I know those were big years for Pokemon, but I just didn't feel like collecting. I was going through some private matters, and that's completely okay. You don't have to collect every set. You don't need to be there all the time. In my case, I found it to be super refreshing to come back to collecting after my hiatus, to go back into the Pokemon hobby, see what has changed, see all the new content creators, see the new game mechanics, the new cards, and everything that comes with it. Also, sometimes life just gets in the way. I receive a lot of comments on my Start Collecting video of people who came back to collecting after 15, 20, even 25 years and said, hey, I'm back, I love it, I'm so hyped up about all this stuff that's out there, and I love that I'm back. Even though I might have missed some other parts of it, but really, who cares? Make them your own. I don't advocate buying fake cards ever, but sometimes it's fun to buy some of those customized or custom cards out there. There are plenty of them out there, and you find them on eBay and Etsy and other marketplaces. You can check them below if you like. And I think some of these are really cool. There are golden cards and collages, and some people just have super great ideas on what to do with Pokemon cards. You can also just, use your own cards, something that you don't need, cut it up, draw on it, hand it to your kids and see what they make of it. And there are so many things out there. Just go online, you'll find plenty of inspiration, and I can't wait to see what you make of it. Oh yes, and if you do customize your cards, send me an email, you find that in my channel, and let me know and show me what you made. Of course, that's not just limited to your cards. I mean, you can customize your playmats, your card sleeves, your deck boxes, The options are endless. Give back to the community. One of the most fulfilling parts of the hobby to me is to give back to the community and others who might not be as fortunate as I am. This can mean to give your cards away for free, for example, to local children's hospitals or people who can't afford the cards, to your friends, to your family. Go to the local game store, see if they have a card donation box that they give out to kids at the tournaments or whatever. There are so many things you can do. You could be a judge at the next tournament, you can set up your own, you can help others online like I do with my videos, I hope, or anything you can think of, and trust me, it's so worth it and it's something that I truly enjoy myself. Here's a bonus tip for you, and that's try out other games. I know this might sound a bit strange, but I, for my part, love to see and try out other TCGs. So besides Pokemon, I collect Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Disney Lorcana, Star Wars Unlimited, and even more that are out there. And with all the games that are out there, I gain more appreciation for the Pokemon TCG. I can see how the games differ, how they're similar, compare the game mechanics, the artworks, the designers, etc. And I think it's really fun. And again, like I said, sometimes it's good to take a break, but also just see what's out there and see if you like it. I mean, you don't have to be only focused on one thing. You can collect 2 games or play one game and one card game and, collect the other. Only collect Pokemon and play Lorcana, or play Star Wars and play Pokemon. Whatever you like to do, just, do your thing. So that's it, guys. My tips for making more out of the hobby, having more fun with the Pokemon TCG. I hope you learned something. Let me know what you think. I hope to see you in the next video, and happy collecting.